It is Thursday, February the 24th, 2022. We are live on Spotify. We are live on YouTube. If you have not subscribed for the channel, please do so. It is the name of the show. Please like and share. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter and Twitch. Again, I appreciate every person that subscribes, every person that comes on, every person that shares the live that we have. I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, and one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It has been proven over and over again. This evening, the last show for this week, I left the best for the last for the best. And she's here tonight. And this wonderful woman is named Egypt. Euphile, right?
Yep.
I said it right. Yes. Egypt was born and raised in Queens, New York. She is 16 years old. 16? Lord. 16. Egypt is a humanitarian, fashion designer, a child prodigy, anti-bully activist, author of 2 books, a UN youth ambassador, CEO of, how do you say that, Chamberlain?
Chubby Line.
Chubby Line, fashion line, CEO of Bully Chasers nonprofit organization, host of the International Teen Summit, motivational speaker, and a full-time high school student with the A grade. Egypt changed the game when she overcame being bullied through creativity, intelligence, and grace by becoming the young designer at the age of 10 to all ages to dream, set goals, and achieve. Her gentle demeanor belies her firm resolve as she crushes the fashion industry with iconic fashion and sassy looks for children, plus size women, men, and boys. She has so much on here, and we definitely gonna get into it. But right now, I want you guys to welcome Egypt to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is this your mom?
Yes.
Hello, Mom. Can she hear me? I guess she can't hear me. So, Egypt, how has your day been?
My day was pretty cool. I got to hang out with one of my friends today. So, yeah.
So, at 16 years old, you are breaking down barriers with not only in the fashion industry, but also an activist. How did that come about?
Well, I was bullied in the 1st and 2nd grade. So, I always tried to strive to make sure nobody felt the same way that I felt, because I know during that time it wasn't a good feeling. So, basically, I just decided to establish a company where I could go around to different schools and talk about anti-bullying and what you should do if you see someone being bullied or if you're the bully yourself, and what are the steps that you can take in order for you to, overcome your situation.
So, at 1 and 2 years old,
First and second.
first grade, I'm sorry, first grade and 2nd grade, why were they bullying you?
Well, as a child, I was diagnosed with chronic asthma, and due to that, I had to take steroids in order to keep my lungs working properly. And as some people know, steroids do make you gain a lot of weight very quickly. So other people did not understand that, and they just thought I was gaining weight because I was eating a lot, and that wasn't the case. So yeah, that's basically what was happening back then, because we're kids, nobody really knows about what steroids are at that age. So
Right. So, first grade, 2nd grade, you're kind of putting on weight because of the steroids that you were on just to live.
yeah.
So, were they physically touching you, or was it a lot of like taunting, things of that nature?
It has started off as taunting, and then eventually became physical. Um, and then that's when I decided to like actually speak out against it, because like taunting is like you can like just brush taunting off, but then once it starts getting like physical, it's like you have to actually start saying something.
Okay, so again, at this the first point, did you tell a teacher when the taunting began? Did you go home crying? Did you go to the principal, or when the actual physical things start happening, that's when you got adults involved?
Yeah, because like whenever I would bring up like the taunting, like higher authorities would just be like, oh, that's just like kids, like kids will be kids, stuff like that. So when it became physical, I decided to tell my mom, and yeah, she took it to the principal, and we took it from there.
Okay. So the reason why I'm asking these questions when it comes to different steps with bullying, because more and more over years we're seeing more of bullying with kids.
Yeah.
Um, it's the cyberspace, all of these different things which cause a lot of kids to commit suicide.
Yes.
Did you know any other people of your age that actually committed suicide?
Well, not any colleagues that I have like personally, but I have seen like stories about kids my age that have committed suicide. And it really does make me feel bad, because it's just like you can really like see yourself in their shoes. Like it's like, dang, that could have been me in that situation. So like seeing kids my age that like commit suicide, it really does like, it really makes you think about certain situations that you're in.
So in your school, from first and second grade, once the principals were into the situation, your parents were into the situation.
Yeah.
Did the did it stop, or did you have to go to a different school?
I actually stayed in the school. They took the disciplinary measures for the bullies, and that like I guess it kind of did fix the situation. We all kind of just like apologized and moved past the situation. Like it was more of like a teaching experience for them. Um, and I stayed at that
Hmm.
same school until my eighth grade year. So when I went to eighth grade, that's when I transferred schools.
Okay. So from reading, if I'm not mistaken, you did the organization at 10, or was that the designing the clothes?
Both of them were intertwined, but the Bully Chasers did start like it was like an idea before the fashion designing, but it was established after the designing like was established.
So where did designs come in at? Like, is your mom clothing, or this is just something you wanted to do?
My mom has always been into fashion, but it was actually my grandma that taught me how to sew. And my older sister was also into fashion. My grandma was the one that like basically taught me everything that I know about sewing now. And yeah, basically it was just me and my grandma. Like we would use like sewing as quality time, and I would use it as like a comfort tool to like de-stress.
You're sewing,
Yeah,
or just being with your grandma?
both, both.
Okay. And so, how did you come up with the design for the bully chasers?
Oh, how did I come up with Bully Chasers?
Mm-hmm.
I came up with Bully Chasers like when I said earlier, when I was in the first and second grade, I was like thinking about like how could I make it where I could implement this into schools so other kids don't get bullied. And my uncle, we actually just left from Vegas. My uncle, he has a company called Bully Busters. So he kind of inspired me as well, because like he was also integrated within schools. And yeah.
So once, like, say for instance, how many times in the school year are you doing this, like a type of conference, or is it an actual conference, or you just come in and just talk like during that time of the? I'm not sure. I haven't been in the school system in so long. I'm not sure if it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this um once a month. Um, how frequently are you doing?
Well, before the pandemic, I was doing it like a lot more often than I am now. Now I'm mostly like doing like remote things and doing like interviews for different things that they can like showcase within the school, or like making a video that they could showcase in the school. But before the pandemic, I was doing them like at least once a week. Whenever like the schools would call me in, I would just like, I had a work permit at the time, so I was able to um miss like certain classes, and they'll just email me the work, and I'll like go to the school and talk about different things. It would depend on like what the school actually wanted. If they wanted to do a conference, then we did a conference. If they just wanted me to speak, then I just talk.
Okay, and so where you live, everyone knows who you are,
Sorry, can you repeat that?
and where you live, does everyone
Oh,
know who you are?
well, where I live in Southeast Queens. So it's like a generally like, I wouldn't say a small area, but a lot of people know each other over here, especially my mom. She knows a lot of people in the neighborhood. So a good amount of people in my area do know who I am. Um, yeah,
And that's good, especially with being 16. A lot of times at 16, we're trying to find ourselves. Um, we're still trying to figure out what school we're going to, what major, all of these things. And for you to be thinking outside of the box, especially with others, that is very impressionable. Seriously. So kudos to you, for that. So how did you become a youth ambassador? Are you in? That was you in, right?
yeah. I became the youth ambassador at the UN because my mom and her friends were always very involved in the UN, and I was always going with her. So, like I would always go to her to the meetings, and they would like discuss like the different things that they should do for the youth. But I felt like there was like, these are all like almost middle-aged people talking about what to do with teenagers. And it's like, how much could they really relate to what we're doing now? So like I decided to like include myself in these conversations, and I feel like it helped like other people my age around the world, because like when you're like my age trying to relate to someone who's like much older than you, they can tend to like try to make it where how it was back then when they were our age. And it's like things have changed a lot from then. Like back when my mom was my age, like they didn't have like social media and stuff. So like we face a lot of different challenges compared to back then.
Absolutely, I agree. A lot of things is a, a lot different. If you're 50, 60 year olds, compared to 16-year-olds today, um, they still had phone booths. They
Yeah.
still had all of these different things that, technology wasn't that big then. So of course things have changed, things have progressed, they're getting faster. Um, the idea of trying to get my mom an iPhone and try to explain to her about the
Yeah.
phone, they're still using a Rolodex, um, address books with phone numbers in it. So
Yeah.
again, I get it. I really do. Um, so what are some things that you take to the UN as far as ideas? Be like, look, what you talking about ain't hitting on nothing, and I think this is what you want to see.
Um, well, now I would definitely like, since COVID, we haven't really been able to like, meet up as much as we want to due to like travel restrictions and stuff. So when we do meet up, like I was thinking about like implementing more ideas on like spreading the message through social media, because like a lot of people are on social media, like even in a lot of places where there's like a lack of technology, like there's always someone who has access to some kind of social media, even if it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or something, or even WhatsApp. So I feel like integrating like a lot of more programs into like social media platforms could definitely help my age group with certain situations.
About I was just talking to someone. I'm planning for myself with my platform to do a youth segment at least once or twice a month. And what I mean by that is to bring on people like you, your age group, 21 and younger probably, and showcase their talent, showcase their gifts, and give them exposure. A lot of times, we overlook our kids, and the gifts are there. They just need to be cultivated and mentored. What do you think about that idea?
I think that's a great idea. Cause like a lot of people my age, like they kind of just need that final push. Cause like I know that like I've seen a lot of females my age as well as males as well, but mostly females like develop their own businesses, especially in within my school, like with just doing hair or makeup or like starting a fashion line. Um, and I feel like it developed throughout the pandemic because like everybody was like, okay, I gotta find a way to make money somehow.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like that would definitely like inspire a lot of people who like are my age and like want to get that final push to start their own business.
I was also doing researching. I'm trying to get a grant proposal for more equipment,
Mhm.
and in my researching, basically they said teens or kids, teenagers, young adults who get exposure, over 50% of them that get exposure from mentors and those who are pushing them actually are more successful in school. They will not get in trouble, and they will actually go off to college or finish their career path. And so I
Yeah,
think that is awesome, a great number. Um, where if we find out that you have a gift or you have a talent, a lot of things is not rap. It is not always sports. It's the arts. It's talking. A lot of kids, communications is one of the biggest things sometimes that we fail in teaching.
yeah,
And so being able to communicate is very well, is very good. And we need to cultivate that, not just as teachers, but motivators as well.
yeah,
And also in that research, it said that kids, teenagers, adults who have this mentorship will turn around and teach someone else. That's not. I'm like, that's not my phone. Um, they will actually turn around and mentor another youth, and that's what we want.
sorry
So
about
that's exactly what we want. We want um for the continuation of positivity to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I think that is a good way to do that. And especially with when you see someone like you fighting on the front line for them, they'll actually push you as well as they will actually be like, okay, let me listen to her and take the lead as well in my own school.
that. Yeah. Because it's like I feel like with implementing a lot more of like personalized um programs into school, it could like help people like embrace like the things that they want to do once they get older. Because I know like for my age, like we're still, especially in your junior year, you're trying to like really figure out what you want to do in life. And like it feels like you're kind of running out of time. So you just want to try everything until you get it right. Like I know when I was younger, I jumped from wanting to be, it sounds crazy. I used to want to be a cashier because I wanted to scan the stuff. But now I'm realizing like that was stupid because who actually like want to be a cashier? So um then it jumped to like being a doctor, then I was like a teacher, then a nurse and everything. So now like I'm actually like starting to think about like what I actually want to do, and I like decided that I wanted to like do aesthetic nursing. And I found that out by like just doing different things to myself. Like even though I wasn't in school for a while due to the pandemic, so it's like I was online, I was at home basically just trying stuff. And I felt like trying stuff basically just like helped me broaden my horizon on like what I really want to try to do when I get older.
And what type of nurse was that?
Aesthetic nursing. So like the nurses that work in like plastic surgery places.
Hmm. So I was well, a lot of the things that I feel is getting away from the steering of those who are in school are the guidance counselors.
My guidance, I'm not gonna lie, my guidance counselor is literally no help.
Well,
And
you took the words right out of my mouth. We just had this conversation at work. Like they were just there, and it was I don't know if it was the load of kids that they had,
yeah,
but a lot of things that we learned not from our guidance counselor. I
we
think I might have seen my guidance counselor in the 4 years I was there, maybe 5 times.
yeah, it's actually ridiculous. Like I didn't see my guidance counselor until the ending of my first semester, and we just started the second semester. So it's like she would make sure to ask me why I wasn't in class yesterday, but not really like asking me how I'm doing. Like there's no guidance when it really comes to like the guidance counselors. I feel like that could actually help people my age a lot, because in my school, like I know that there's a lot of students, but like we have guidance counselors designated for each grade. So it's like it should lessen your workload. Like I just feel like the guidance counselors aren't really like helping as much. Like they're doing more of like discipline than guidance.
And that is I believe that is true as well because a lot of stuff that um like we were talking about like taking your college entrance courses more than once. Like they have a thing now. I think that eighth graders, ninth graders are doing it so that it counts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
putting out your um testing, saying, "Hey, I want to be this. What are the courses? What are the things that I need to do to get there? If I'm going to a vocational school or something like that, I don't want to be wasting my time while I'm here. I need to be getting everything that I can better myself when I actually leave this school. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times our teachers, a lot of times our guidance counselors are not helping us get to where we need to go. We're taking classes that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
so
I
I definitely agree with you. Definitely.
I noticed that definitely like the teachers do play a big part as well into the success of students, because actually last semester one of my teachers, I guess one of the students, he came in from outside, but he still had his hood on. And it's like a strict rule in my school that you can't wear any kind of outerwear over your uniform. And they take it a lot more seriously than they should. I feel like it's a little over dramatic, if you ask me. But um she told she called a assistant principal on him because he had his hood on. He was taking it off. He had it like halfway off, and she was like, that's gonna lead your misbehavior now. Like, since you're so insubordinate, it's gonna lead to you going to jail or something like that. And we were all like, that doesn't even make any sense because he had his hood on. Like, are you serious? So it's just like I feel like with the teachers, like they do too much in the sense of trying to make you be disciplined instead of letting you like kind of express yourself while still setting boundaries of like being like, okay, I'm still like in charge of you type thing. Like I feel like they kind of like overstep their boundaries because like we're juniors and stuff, and it's like we're kind of getting to the age where it's like we're almost about to leave school soon and be on our own. So it's like it's really not that serious to the point where you got to sit there and like ridicule someone so hard to the
Mhm.
point where they're just like, all right, I don't even like school anymore, type thing.
It's a catch 22. I'm gonna say it this way. Um, the teachers have now become everything, forced to be everything to their students, meaning the counselor, the parent, the grandparent, the everything, and they don't get paid enough to do what they do.
Yeah, I understand that.
Some and unfortunately, we have, you know, the bad apples sometimes that make it worse for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've heard of the mass killings in the schools, I would have never thought in a million years I would have heard half of the things that are happening in schools. Is, you know, no way. I would have never thought that. So it's a catch 22 on both ends. Like seriously. Like you do have some who really want to get educated. You do have some teachers who really want to do their job. But because how things have happened and society has happened, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And if you don't have, like you're saying, if we don't have a dialogue like we're doing now, all it would do is get worse because you have one idea and one belief, and then they have something totally different, which are on two different pages.
Right.
So again, we have to have these type of conversations where I put aside my feelings. Let's get down to what's the happy medium in order for us to get the best education that we can, the best support system as well. Because all I'm going to do is make sure you win.
Right.
Whatever that takes is making sure that you win. I don't want you to have to come to school being fearful of anyone.
Right.
I want you to come in just how you started. I want you to leave out just how you started. I want you to have a happy day. I want to know and be concerned, be energetic into your life. But at the same time, I still have to do my job.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't, they, a lot of people who are in this are in it for all the wrong reasons. If you're not there for that soul and you're looking at a paycheck, teaching is not
That's,
it.
that's exactly what I said. Cause I was like, if you don't like children, because there's a lot of teachers that you can tell they don't like kids. And it's like, why did you really become a teacher if you don't want to help the kids?
Now,
So it's like it makes it bad for like both parties because it's just like some students end up like not liking school because of one teacher, and then some teachers are like dreading going to work because of one student that they know gives them a hard time.
absolutely. And like I said, there are people just like when you get older and you have a job, there's people on your job, you be like, let me breathe, let me pray real quick before I come in here. But then there's some people you love to see when you come to work, or you whatever type of job that you have, whatever your job is, you take advantage of that. You put your all in all into it, and people be like, I want them to service me because their attitude is totally different from the person who's here and like, I'm over it. I don't want to be here. Same thing with students when they come to school. We all have had them. We all had them as our peers. We all have had them as a teacher. But at the end of the day, it all fall back on you. Why are you going to school? Why are you here?
Right.
So a person like you, I'm getting a kick out of it because again, most kids don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express themselves. And so now you having a conversation with somebody, you be like, okay, we can go somewhere. I know how you feel, you know how I feel. Now let's go and make a plan for us both to be happy in this and get the job done.
Right.
So again, this is an awesome dialogue. For those who are on, I do this too. For those who are on, if you have a question for Egypt, please put it in the chat room. I would love to hear your questions for her while she's here. Again, she is a youth activist. um, that is very concerned about bullying. Also, she is in the fashion world and she is making a mark in history. And that I appreciate that as well. So again, I give you your flowers and your kudos right now, while you can hear it and while you can see it and while you can smell it. Again, I wasn't even thinking at 16 years old that I was going to be a part of the UN ambassador. Wasn't thinking that. I was too busy playing sports. I was getting the job done in the books, but I
Uh
was too busy being in sports that I was more so of the team, not necessarily individuals.
huh.
Now, I was the person that I was a protector. I still am. And I'm a connector. Still am. So I understand when it comes to helping and protecting those who might can't protect themselves. And that's the part about bullying. Um, you wasn't gonna do that in my presence, especially when I know they haven't done anything.
Right.
You're not gonna do that. I'd rather for you to pick on me, but have a fair fight than you to pick on somebody who can't fight for themselves.
Right.
So again, I don't remember it actually coming from a place of somebody and bullying me because where I came from was all boys. So I had to step up or I would be one of those victims. So the guys in my neighborhood taught me how to fight, let alone my own father who taught me how to fight. So I became the person that if there was a girl that was whatever, the guys would be like, go get her. They'll fight it out and be done with it. And
Hmm.
then I began to do that even in elementary with people who were getting picked on. You don't have to come and get me. I'm paying attention and I'm listening. So
Right.
I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna make an example of you so you won't do that again to anybody else.
Right. It's like you got the right one this time.
And then once it goes through the school, you graduate, it's already at the other school that you're going to go to.
Yeah.
And being a part of a team, being a part of in the group, you look out for one another. Most of my friends that I have been friends with since my block, elementary, middle school, high school, college, I am still friends with today. We all have war stories, but at the end of the day, it was all of us together.
Right.
It was the village, it was our parents, it was the people in the church, it was everybody had to say so to make sure that whatever goals that you wanted to do, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. So at 16, if you wasn't bullied, where do you think your mindset would be?
I mean, I feel like I would still be the same because it's like I probably wouldn't have like established like the anti-bullying company like I did before, like I have right now. But I probably would still like have some kind of voice with activism because like I've grown up seeing my mom and my grandma and my grandpa and like everybody in my family, like they always were like the first person to say something when it came to stuff. So it's like I feel like it was always like a thing that I always did.
So you inherited.
Yeah, basically like it's like even now like I don't even like try to consider myself as someone who like I feel like I've stayed like really out of the mix when it comes to like stuff that's going on in my school. Like I barely know who even goes to my school. That's how I know that I'm like really out of the mix. But it's like it's still to the point where I still have like a good amount of like people who know who I am and like know my character and like what I'm like inside the school. So it's like I feel like I would still be the same way, but like different in some ways.
So while you're in school, are you guys still virtual now or y'all going back into the building?
No, I'm like fully in person now.
Okay. So in your school, you do have other like social clubs?
Yeah, there's like different clubs that you can join. They have like a debate club, they have a chess club. They have like basically a club for anything because everybody was like wanting to open like different stuff because everybody had different ideas cuz like when we're in school like my school is more of like a faster paced school. So it's like when we're in school we're just doing mostly work. You could try to like integrate some kind of fun into it if you have like an extracurricular class, but if you don't have that, then there's like no way for you to like express any kind of creativity. So with the clubs, like they kind of like help the students like get to mingle. You can make new friends. They even have like a program in the school where if you're like a because my school goes from sixth grade to 12th grade. So there's like the high schoolers that were there from when they were in sixth grade. I came to school when I was in eighth grade. So I'm still like fairly new. There's people who have been there from sixth grade and they know the school inside and out, like all the teachers and stuff. So they'll like make a ninth, 10th, 11th, or 12th. They'll like take a sixth grader and like mentor them through their whole middle school. And then like teach them like who to avoid, what teachers give you a problem, stuff like that. So they can like kind of know what it's like inside the school and they're not like just like doing it blindly. I wish they had it when I first came to school because I didn't know anybody. I was kind of just like figuring it out as I go because this was like a brand new environment to me. And yeah, I feel like with that kind of aspect, it's like it kind of takes over the whole need for a guidance counselor kind of thing.
Yeah, and two, sometimes kids um will take information from a an older teen um and take that as gold compared to a guidance counselor,
Yeah,
um and run with it, especially when you have been here. It's like passing on wisdom,
right.
which should be, because I think in my time it was elementary, middle school, high school. So middle school middle schoolers was not in the same school with high school. High
Yeah,
schoolers.
it's just I think it's only my school that does that. It's like a few schools that do it. Um, with the 6 to 12. I mean, it's like it's a good idea, but I don't really
It
like
all
it.
depends on what's going on. Like
Yeah.
some things you should be grouped with your age group. Um, when I we know that they probably have different wings or something like that.
Yeah,
For the school.
yeah, like certain floors are designated to certain grades and
Hmm.
like they'll have like specific teachers for different things. With it being 6 to 12, like I said, it was accelerated. So it's like they'll have like seventh graders taking like a ninth grade course so that you could get
Okay.
all your regions out the way. And then once you graduate middle school and you go to high school, you're already starting like most of your APs.
Okay. Which is, it could be a good thing, and
It's a little stressful.
sometimes, yeah, it
It's a
can
little
be a
stressful.
little bit more overwhelming depending on what it is. And then we know that even at middle school age, sometimes depending on the child, you are advanced and where they're at is boring to you because it's not challenging you. So
Right.
again, it could be a good thing and then it could be a bad thing. So it's a catch-22 with that as well. But again, having the conversation versus being forced is um needs to be had. We have those moments where you have the youth to have a conversation with other end can say, well, you don't know what to do. No, that has to be squashed. It has to be a middle ground. And then we can actually go and figure out the best way to educate you. At the end of the day, I got my education. You the one need it.
Right.
So what can I do to better your experience here, because this is what it is. It's not just a memory. This is experience that you're going to take to college, or you're going to take to your the way you live. You're going to learn it in school.
Absolutely.
So, with your fashion, matter of fact, what type of fashion are you in?
I do mostly like a little bit of everything. I'm actually starting to retire from like doing like a lot of the fashion now because like there's not really that many shows, and I've done enough. Like I was doing it from when I was 10. So yeah.
So were you I just had Justin Haynes on 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago? And he just got done doing Fashion Week in New York.
Yeah, it's Fashion Week currently.
Yeah,
Last
he just got done doing that, so he was very excited about that. And he's been in the fashion business for a minute, and so when the first thing when you told me about fashion, I was thinking about him. And this is what he does on the basis. So you said that you have done it since you were 10, and you're thinking about retiring. Um, what is the next thing outside of that that you feel like you would do?
I'm actually like starting to think about like starting to do hair and like cosmetology as a full-time career, like until I graduate, because like I found myself to like actually enjoy, like I enjoy doing like cosmetic things, like from like skincare to like doing other people's hair and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like that would be something that could help me like make money while I'm going through college as well. Cause like I, as a girl, you always want your hair done. So it's like if you have like a friend or if there's somebody on campus that could like help you out without you having to go too far, it could definitely help.
And not paying an arm and a leg.
Right. I would definitely have affordable prices because I am sick of like when okay. So as I started to like get more into like doing more of like wigs and stuff, I noticed that a lot of hairstylists want to charge you like braiding prices to get a wig to go on that last 3 days. So I'm definitely planning on like lowering the prices because I feel like it's not really that deep for you to go to the point of charging $300 to get a wig install. Because I definitely would not, I would barely pay that to get my hair braided. So yeah, like I definitely want to make sure I implement that as I get older.
And in college, I can't see nobody paying that type of money when you look. Um, and I think that's a great idea to be able to help people on campus. You probably have more clients than you'll need, because you know you have those, the parties, something quick, something that will last. And once you have the clientele, they'll tell someone else, and then you'll be doing hair like, oh, I gotta shut it down. I
Yeah.
got finals. I got midterms to do, and then I'll come back to doing hair and makeup. So, do you on your makeup? Are you doing your own products, or are you just what are you doing?
Well, making my own products would definitely be something that I could look into. Um, but I feel like I would probably just use other people's products. I do my own makeup a lot. Like the makeup that I like have on my page, like I mostly do my own makeup when I go out to events and stuff and do my own hair. So I definitely feel like making my own products is definitely a venture that I could probably go into because when I graduate from college for aesthetic nursing, I plan on opening my own like full service spa or like my own private practice for aesthetics. So that would definitely be something that I could definitely look into to offer to my clients.
That's probably gonna be good too, because even if they um go somewhere else or they're on the go, they already have your product. Again, that's always a stream of income. You're already a entrepreneur anyway, so you already know what it takes to do that. So again, I think that would be great. Anyone have a question for her? Egypt, while she's on here. I'm just waiting to see if they have any other questions. Um, and the person that actually recommended me to you was Dr. Cookie Humphrey. She sent a message to me like you came highly recommended to talk to, and like she's it. She's definitely the person to talk to connect, and I'm hoping, like I said, as soon I will have more youth on to get them exposure.
Right.
And I believe in the youth. I believe that once you start them off young, they won't depart from it. There'll be something that they'll know that they're good at. And the other thing I wanted to bring out is the importance of accepting your differences. You don't have to be like anyone else.
Right.
And I think um understanding your uniqueness is important, and that you will keep on striving to be different from everyone else. I mean, we all have different flavors of ice cream, different brands of ice cream, but you know what brand of ice cream that you like.
Right.
You'll keep buying it. And so you'll tell the difference when you don't, this, that ain't it. And
Yeah.
so again, I look at it like we're all different. We all shape different. We all look different. Personalities are different for a reason. You're very unique in your DNA and everything. So embrace your differences, people. It's okay. It's perfect, actually. So in your school, oh, I'm gonna say this. So as a sibling, as I bring this out as well with your humanity,
Mm.
how are you as a sibling or a daughter or both?
Um, I feel like I like treat everybody I know almost the same way. Like, um, not necessarily saying that I treat all my family like friends, but like I definitely do like try to create a relationship where we're like both comfortable with telling each other stuff, where it's like a safe space where everybody that I know. Um, I try to always like try to be like a listening ear, even if it's not stuff that I always want to hear. Like I try to always like hear everybody out, even though like sometimes I get a little like it's in your nature to get aggravated sometimes with like your siblings and stuff. So there's definitely that. But other than that, like I always try to like hear everybody out for what they're gonna say. And if I disagree on it, I'll just let you know. And we'll just kind of go after that. Like if there's no reason to really like have like a serious conflict with me. Like I feel like I'm like kind of avoidant of like conflict in general.
And that's good too. I'm the oldest of three. My
Yeah.
brother is out of state. My sister, I'm more and more closer to her. Um, and so like today, I had an outfit, and I'm like, let me call my sister to see what she thinks. And
Mm.
she like, don't you got a husband? Like, really, really? So I'm supposed to see her tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, when I see you, I'm going to jump you, and I'm gonna hug and kiss on you all, forever. She's like, can we get a high five instead? I'm like, nope, because she's not like that kissy kissy person. I am. So I know that irritates her. So I'm like, yeah. So since you want to be smart, this is what I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna hug and kiss on you until you can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way with it really depends. It depends on how I feel on the day.
Well, when I know what you like and what you don't like, I will definitely mess with you. And then for a long time, me and my sister shared room. when we were growing up. So yeah, it's nothing like a sister relationship, and she's the baby. So yeah, is a different thing.
Yeah.
What do you cook?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
Or what's your specialty?
I like to make seafood because my grandma, she lives with us and she has been a pescatarian for over 40 years. So it's like a lot of the food, like I can't just cook chicken and then I have to make a whole separate meal for my grandma. So it's just I've always like implemented some kind of pescatarian option into cooking, like since she moved in with us.
I love seafood too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we had a dish with bow tie noodles and crab, crab meat, shrimp, and scallops over gravy and mushroom sauce.
Oh wow. That sounds good.
Then we tried it was a stuffed clam.
Oh, I hate clams. I tried to like
Aw.
I
So that
tried
means you don't like mussels either?
I don't think I've ever tried mussels.
What?
I never really liked clams. It's just the idea of them. They make me feel weird.
Well, we know clams and mussels are in the same family, so
Yeah. They can't taste
but
that
they're
good.
yeah, they're good. And matter of fact, I'm like, maybe I should have cooked some mussels too. But however, it was a very good dish. We had the crab meat as well, and I don't know what it is about seafood. I just had a chef on the other day, Tracy, and she did a dish with crab meat and lobster, and I was so upset that I was not there to eat it.
Dang.
I know, I was
It sounds
very
kind of
distraught.
expensive too.
Well, the way she was talking, it the money wasn't a problem. So, and my stomach probably wouldn't have mattered either. So,
Yeah.
I was just upset I was not there. She was in New Jersey.
Oh man. That
We're gonna
sucks.
get it together. We're gonna get it together. So, let's see if anyone asked. No one. Excuse me. No one asked the question. So, is there anything that you want to say to the people before we get off?
Um, I guess I would just say the only person that's really stopping you from like achieving your goals is yourself. Can't really blame anybody for like the situation that you're in because it's like it don't the only person that can really help you get out of any situation is yourself. So yeah, that's like basically the only thing I want to say to the audience right now.
Yeah, and I want to say to you, keep shining, keep doing what you're doing, keep being the light to all those who might be stuck, might feel like they don't have a voice.
Mhm.
Um, Still be connected to your audience, to your people, to your peers, even to adults, because sometimes they never learn, and sometimes we have to be the patient ones. We have to be the trailblazers to change what we see might be a problem. So always continue to have your eyes open, your ears open, your heart open to be the one to be a trailblazer to those who don't have a voice. That includes bullying. It includes everything. Um, I will say much success to you in your high school days. Continue to strive for the best. Push. Um, Whatever that is, whatever you want to be, you do the research, you do what's good for you.
Yeah.
um don't let nobody deter you from being you, and I know you're going to be successful. You're already successful in the things that you've been doing since you've been out here. Continue to do that even with the UN. um Make sure you have that voice. Don't let nobody um silence you. I don't care what is going on. And if
Yeah.
they do, you got a big sister now. They ain't ready for me.
They ain't ready.
They
They ain't
ain't ready. My blue hair and all. They definitely ain't ready. So again, thank you again, Isha, for coming through tonight. I
Nope.
want you to enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll keep up with you.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.